everybody, it's Jerica. I'm still alive, even though I have not done a video in way too long. I apologize for that. As I'll get into, I've been feeling really awful, and just the last thing on my mind is doing videos. So I haven't, and I apologize for that. And I'm kind of sad too because I really wanted it to be weekly and organized because that's the kind of person I am, and that's just not what has happened. But I'm hoping to get back on track and do all the videos that I have planned and make sure I do my weekly pregnancy videos. So this is going to be my, okay, now I can't even remember, my 9 and 10 week video. And even though I will be 11 weeks tomorrow, Thursday the, what is that, the 15th, I think? But I'll just cover 9 and 10 weeks right now, and then tomorrow I'll go ahead and do my 11-week video and do a belly shot, and I think I have some pregnancy buys and some like health recommendations and things like that, so I'll probably do that tomorrow in that video. So for week 9 and 10, we were busy. Week 9 was Halloween. I turned 9 weeks the day after Halloween, and my husband had a couple days off. He had like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, so we did Halloween stuff and had fun and were out of the house having fun as much as I could tolerate because I was feeling so sick. I think I've eaten like one piece of candy from Halloween, which is so depressing because it's like I look forward to Halloween because we just don't eat candy. We don't have that stuff in the house. And, you know, Halloween we have this bowl of candy and Mommy and Daddy get to sneak candy out of the pantry, and so I always look forward to that, and it's like I have not even wanted to look at the bowl of candy. It's been so sad. But yeah, we had an awesome Halloween. We had so much fun. We did so many things. My son had a preschool party on Tuesday night, and most of the parents dressed up, and there was little carnival games and food, and they did like a trunk or treat parade for the kids at the end before everybody left, and it was just so much fun to get the kids dressed up, and Tristan completely 100% understood and was, you know, gearing up for it and had so much fun and teaching Adele about it, which was the cutest thing, you know. My 3.5-year-old son teaching Adele trying to say trick or treat was like beyond adorable. And I have a video of it, and I might have to just upload it because it's just too cute not to share. And she couldn't quite get trick or treat. You know, she's only 16 months now, so I mean, I wasn't surprised, but she was so cute because every door that we went up to on Halloween, she did say please and thank you, which was just the most adorable thing for her to say, you know, and she had to grab her candy and then put it in her own bucket, and it was just so cute. She was a little peacock. I made her like this peacock feather thing, and a little tutu and stuff, so she was really cute. She loved it because she was pretty and she knew it, and everybody told her she was cute and she knows it, and so she loved it. And then Tristan, after a long decision time, he finally decided on the Hulk. He knew he wanted to be a superhero, but he finally decided on the Hulk, and he picked it out himself, picked exactly the one he wanted, and loved it. So he had a blast too. So beyond that, so that's, yeah, week 9, we were just mostly busy. That's why I didn't do a video week 9. I was feeling really sick, but it was mostly because we were just busy having fun. So yeah, I've been so sick, and you know, I've said in my other videos that it started like at 6 weeks, and week 9 and 10, I was trying to describe to my husband where it wasn't as often, like I didn't feel nauseous like 24/7 like I was like the week like 6 and 7 and into week 8, but it was more intense. So even though I wasn't like nauseous 24/7 like without a break, it was like if nausea hit, I was out for the count. I did not want to move. I was either dry heaving, gagging, actually vomiting. I didn't want to eat, and I would force myself to eat, and my husband was trying to help me by, you know, preparing food and going to the grocery store, because I did not even want to step foot in a grocery store. I didn't want to smell the food. I didn't want to see the food. I couldn't even like stand up and walk around and shop for that long, and it's busy, and I had both the kids, and there's just no way those few weeks that I could even be in the grocery store for like 30 minutes. And you know, I went to our close little grocery store for like bread and eggs, and it was like everything in me. I was like doubled over. I had like Adele on my back, and I was like hunched over, like trying to get the bread in my cart, and it was pitiful. It was so pitiful. So my husband was really awesome. He really helped me out and prepared, you know, simple like sauteed vegetables and white rice, because I couldn't even chew brown rice. It put me off that bad, and I couldn't eat quinoa because it felt like it was like glue, and I was just, everything was so disgusting to me, and it was just awful. I've dropped, I don't know. I'm usually like, my average weight is about 128, and my average weight right now is like 121. That's scary for me, since I don't really gain a lot of weight in pregnancy anyways. Even if I'm, you know, with Adele, I felt really pretty good with Adele, and I only gained 18 pounds. And, you know, I'm not bigger to where I don't need to gain weight, and, you know, I eat really healthy, but I mean, I eat enough, and it's just, I end up feeling really awful afterwards. So I really want to try to gain more weight. So I'm not happy that, you know, I lost weight, and I know nursing on top of being sick wasn't helping, but that's, you know, part of the game. I'm tandem nursing, and that's the way it goes. And, you know, Adele, it was kind of nice that I had that physical reminder of Adele needs to nurse, I need to eat, I need to drink water as much as I can. It was nice to have that in my face physical push. And so, you know, I try to eat as much as possible, and I try to drink as much as possible, but oh man, those couple weeks were just awful. On top of the nausea, I felt like I had a fever, but I didn't actually have like a temporal fever. I just had the body aches and the chills and the dizziness and the blackout feeling. I felt like I had the flu, but I didn't. Even the kids and my husband had like a stuffy nose. And so some of the time I was like, oh, I'm coming down with this cold. I'm going to get a fever tonight, and I'm going to feel even worse. And I never got the sniffles. I never got the sore throat. I never got the fever. So I'm pretty sure it's just pregnancy related. I was just feeling awful. It was like shivers, fever, chill, aches. I did not want to be touched. I didn't want any lights on. I was hot and cold, and it was just, oh my gosh, it was just miserable. So there's my rant for week 9 and 10 of how awful I felt. And it's getting better, thank God. These last like 3 days, it's been, at least it's like I can kind of time it to where I'm like, okay, I'm kind of starting to feel bad. Oh my God, I really need to just lay down on the couch and take like an hour nap. And then when I wake up, I'm really groggy and still kind of nauseous, but I can at least function. So it's at least getting better. Sorry about that. I have Word World on for Tristan to keep him occupied while he eats his sandwich. So beyond that, feeling awful, and like I said, there's my rant. I did see Kim for like my intake visit, my midwife, and it's kind of funny because she was, you know, gearing up to go to Africa for her trip, and hi, are you gonna watch TV with brother? Oh, do you want the water? I put the water over there. Go find the water. You wanna go find the water? You want to see my peanut butter face? Or I guess almond butter, but Say hi. Say hi. More? More what? More please? More please what?
Hi.
You want to say hi? It's real sunshiny right there. I have to come over closer to Mama. Careful, careful. Come back closer to Mommy.
Hi.
There you go. They're eating sun butter and jam sandwiches, so they're kind of messy. You want more? How about you go show baby sister where the water bottle is? I think it's over by Mommy's seat, okay? Go with brother. Go get the water. You want to stay here? So, anyways, I guess I'll stop talking to my kids on here. But I have to show them off, right? So, yes, I saw Kim. And it's kind of funny because, you know, we set up a visit and she's getting ready for Africa and everything. So she had 2 moms that were over their due date, and she was just praying that she didn't have to go to the 42-week mark and end up getting OB backup care and having to do any kind of induction and all that, because it's hard with the laws here in Colorado. If you reach that 42-day or 42-week mark, you have to go in for, well, starting at 40 weeks and 5 days, you have to go in for a non-stress test and have a backup OB. Hey, calm down, please. How about you go watch Word World while I finish this, okay?
I need a drink.
Okay, how about you share that with brother? Go give it to brother. So she was really just crossing her fingers and praying that she wouldn't have to get to that 42-week mark with her last 2 moms before she left. And so, of course, the 2 days that we scheduled an appointment for me, she had births. So, which, you know, that comes with the territory. And I'm so grateful that, you know, she's there for births, no matter what. I think she's missed only 1 birth, and that was because it was a 3-hour labor, and that was it. And of course she has backup midwives and stuff too, but she's not going to come to an appointment just because she has birth. So I had no problem with just rescheduling a few times. You know, I have no problem with that. So finally rescheduled, got in, did the whole initial visit. Really, there's not, you know, it's just the normal stuff. We kind of went over my history again, but she already knew my history from with Adele. We talked about, like, Adele's pregnancy and if I wanted anything to go different or any different goals that I have this time. So, like we talked about, like with Adele, we had an ultrasound, the 20-week anatomy ultrasound, and this time I really like to go without any Doppler or ultrasound. And with Adele, I didn't have any Doppler, but I did have that ultrasound. Mostly because my husband and I were still kind of, we were kind of freaked out with all the things that went with Tristan and his size and my measuring really small. And so we kind of wanted that reassurance that everything was okay and my dates were right and she was measuring well. And so it was kind of that safety net for us. And this time, we're a little more at ease, we're a little more relaxed. You know, we know now that I just measure small, and Kim is really good at palpitating and knowing where baby's at, both weight-wise and position-wise. She was spot on with Adele. I saw her Friday morning, and Adele was born Sunday morning, and Friday morning, she guessed Adele was 100% 7 pounds. On the dot, she knew. She's like, this baby's 7 pounds. And Adele was born at 7 pounds, 1 ounce. So, I mean, she's always just a few ounces off usually in her weight guesses. So, I felt really confident, even though I was only measuring, I was measuring between 35 and 36 weeks, and I don't really ever, even with Tristan, I didn't even get over 35 centimeters for my fundus height. So I feel much more confident in knowing that Sorry, you get to look at Adele and listen to me talk. I feel really confident in knowing that, you know, if things were to feel wrong or look wrong or sound wrong, we would both be able to know that and feel confident that we would need to get backup care. So I have no problem with not getting an ultrasound this time, unless something happens or unless I get that gut feeling that I need to know something. So we talked about things like that. We, back up, sweetie. We talked about, oh gosh, and her face is all sunned out too. I'm sorry. This video is, oh. Anyways, I'm getting it done at least, so it's done. Careful, honey. Are you giving the baby kisses? Oh, good job. And we talked again about things like nutrition and supplements and things like that. So really just an initial visit. We did weight. She did find my fundus. I have a really tilted uterus, and it's kind of tilted the opposite way than it was before I was ever pregnant. And so we did find my fundus. What she said was kind of soon, and it was kind of high, but it is my third baby, so it could be completely normal and not a problem. You know, because I just have like a guess ovulation date, I could very well be a couple more weeks than I expect, and we'll just kind of have to see later on in my pregnancy. But so not too concerned about that. We didn't check for any heartbeat because I don't want to use the Doppler, and there's no point in even trying the fetoscope this early. So maybe next time, because I'll be like, I think I'll be like 13 weeks our next visit. So we might try, since I'm smaller and it is my third baby, we might be able to find it, but I'm not concerned. I'm feeling pregnant and healthy, baby growing. I have no concerns right now. Blood draw. I went in for a blood draw. I should have done it a long time ago, but I was just feeling so sick that that's the last thing I wanted to do. I really did not want to go get tubes of blood taken when I felt like I was going to pass out just because I stood up. There's no way I was going to go get blood drawn. I went in to get blood drawn my first trimester with Adele and passed out at the office. So I just rather that not happen again. So I I set a date, which was yesterday, and 3 days before that, I really tried to do really well with my protein intake and my water intake and my supplements, so that one, I would have an accurate blood draw, because those are things that I am going to be doing and are more normal. I wanted a normal blood draw. I didn't want a blood draw of I haven't been able to keep anything down for the last 3 days, because that's not going to be my norm. So I finally, got a good 3 days in of a good norm, at least for right now, and when I got my blood draw, so that should be in soon. And we made sure and did a iron check, a B12 check, and a vitamin D check, along with the regular, I think it's called an OB draw. It's like a pregnancy intake draw. So those should probably be back, maybe even Friday. I don't know. I guess I'll see. I'll probably, it won't be on tomorrow's video, but probably the next week I'll probably talk more about that, because I might have to play with my supplements and things. Other thing that's just kind of going on in life, I guess I'll do kind of a nursing update too. One thing that's super annoying, my breasts did grow a little bit, not a lot, but just enough for me to tell. Kind of like how they were when they were actually changing size and shape when I was nursing more, when they fill up between feedings. It's more of that kind of a change. So not drastic, but like my bras that I fit really well into, I'm like completely filling out now. And so, since I don't really wear nursing bras, usually I only have like these like sports bra nursing bras that I wear like around the house, because they don't support anything, and at night and stuff. But all my other like good bras are just regular bras that then I just plop my boob in and out to nurse. And I have now, just today, officially broke all of my bras. Every single one of my nice bras has the wire poking out of it, either on the side or in the middle. And I don't know how many I've like, you know, did a little stitch and it pops, and do another stitch and it pops, and I'm so frustrated that I have like no good bras right now. So, I don't know, I'm gonna have to really do some stitching and maybe go and just get, I don't know, because it's not, oh my god, there's no way I could fit into a C, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to go bra shopping because this is so frustrating. Adele's nursing, kind of normal. She was getting really frustrated when I was obviously dehydrated and not keeping food down because there wasn't a lot of milk there. So she was getting frustrated and teething. So she wasn't very happy in nursing quite a bit. But, you know, it wasn't that bad because I was just laying on the couch anyways. I didn't care if she was snuggled up next to me nursing. At night, she has been doing a lot better. We've only been up like 3 times. And she's been staying in her crib for, usually I can feed her and put her back in her crib at least once, if not twice, after midnight. So it's been so nice to kind of have my own space. I've really needed it, so it's been really nice. She does get really frustrated in the mornings because there's not that much milk as there used to be. So she gets really frustrated. So when we used to just lay in bed and nurse and sleep for those like 2 hours in the morning, she just gets frustrated, and so we've been waking up earlier because she's not satisfied. But it's kind of nice. I've just been keeping food on my nightstand for both her and I for in the morning, and so her and I usually just kind of hang out in the morning and snack, and she can nurse off and on, and it's kind of a nice wake up time for both of us and a little time for just her and I, which is kind of nice.